Good morning. How are you doing, everybody? Pretty good? Good. It's great to see you here today. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose. We're going to start our service by standing up and singing together. And we rest in that beautiful presence, in that beingness, in that peace. As we breathe in and breathe out, allowing ourselves to move deeper into the stillness, opening our hearts, our minds, and our beings to listen to the words of our sacred reading.
From Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi. There is a life force within your soul. Seek that life. There is a gem in the mountain of your body. Seek that mine. O traveler, if you are in search of that, don't look outside. Look inside yourself. This aloneness is worth more than 1,000 lives. This freedom is worth more than all the lands on earth. To be one with the truth for just a moment is worth more than the world and life itself. I see so deeply within myself, not needing my eyes, I can see everything clearly. Why would I want to bother my eyes again now that I see the world through the Beloved's eyes? There is a candle in the heart of man waiting to be kindled. Oh, you who are ignorant of endurance and the burning fire of love. Love comes of its own free will. It can't be learned in any school. I am blasphemy and religion, pure and impure. If I die, don't say that he died. Say he was dead, became alive, and then was taken by the Beloved. You personify God's message. There is nothing in the universe that you are not. Everything you want, look for it within yourself. You are that.
And let us now see ourselves through the eyes of the Beloved. As we sing together, I am remembering who I am. Trusting and knowing that the Beloved is exactly what we are, and as we know it for ourselves, we send this knowingness to embrace all other beings. Those who are alive, those who have passed over, animals, insects, inanimate objects, the entire universe wrapped in this essence of the Beloved, being exactly what it is. I am remembering. In this beautiful silence, where we remember so sweetly, we bring this awareness to our open-eyed state as we breathe in deeply and then exhale, gently opening our eyes in love with what is, as it is, and so it is.
You got the cool water when the fever runs high. You've got the look of a love light in your eyes I was in crazy motion till you calmed me down. It took a little time, but you calmed me down. When something goes wrong, I'm the first to admit it, the first to admit it, the last one to know. When something goes right, well, it's likely to lose me. It's apt to confuse me, 'cause it's such an unusual sight. Oh, I swear I can't get used to something so right, something so right. Unusual sight. Oh, I swear I can't get used to something so right. Something so right. Oh, no, no, no.
Thanks, you guys. That was so beautiful. It's good to see you again. It's been a long time. Yeah, thanks. All right. So I'd like to, I have the honor now of introducing our guest speaker for today, Reverend Stephen Rambo. Before he was Reverend Stephen Rambo, he was Steve Rambo, and he was a weathercaster and an environmental reporter in LA for over a decade. He won many, many awards for his work in broadcasting. He was a groundbreaking environmental leader, one of the first to bring viewers latest eco news in a segment called Steve Rambo's Daily Planet. He has actively mentored youth in a program called Apaches of Truth. Up until recently, he served as the assistant minister at Founders Church in LA, and very soon he will be accepting the position of the senior minister at Simi Valley CSL. Yay! So let's give him some love. Come on up, Steve.
Thank you. Wow. You make me sound so official. So, Reverend Bonnie, Miss Bonnie, she was one of my first teachers at North Hollywood. So this is really a coming home, and it's sort of like, see what I did with what you did with me? So, you know, it's really nice. All right, so, wow. This is so neat. I have a lovely friend. Her name is Pat Perkins, and she's at the Claremont Church. Well, she's actually retired now. She's traveling around seeing her grandkids. But what she told me early on is that, Steve, always own the stage. So, just pardon me. You are excellent. You guys are fun. I'm blasphemous and I'm religious. I love that. That's such a great poem. Awesome prayer. I paneled her. I went to school with her. We're classmates. We were in the same class. Well, no, you were one class ahead. Yeah. You left me. But I'm back. And now I live in Ventura. Well, I soon will live in Ventura County because I'm going to move to Simi Valley. Yeah. Enough of LA, you know? So, oh my God, I'm here. OMG, that's it. OMG. Right? I had this whole bit I was going to do with my cell phone, and I was going to like text to my brother and, you know, OMG, I'm at CSL, VCSL, and do all these little, you know, LOL, but I have no phone to do that, so I'll just tell you about it instead. But it comes to me that you know, we do a lot of this texting with the shorthand, and that's where the OMG came from. And as I was doing an OMG one day on my phone some time ago, I thought, you know, what is this oh my God thing? You know, it just came to me that it's so much more than simply a little thing that you put on your phone. There's something very powerful in saying, oh my God. And we say it a lot. We say this thing of exclaim and exclamation and surprise and wonder a lot of times. And it just helped me understand that when I do that, I am unconsciously unifying with the divine. I'm unconsciously accepting the truth, which we are so fortunate to know in religious science, that there is one life. That life is God. That life is my life now. Oh my God. A lovely reminder of that simple thing that Dr. Holmes liked to tell us so much, you know. And so I thought we would just break that down a little bit. And before going into it, I always like to look at some stats around stuff. And I was surprised. I was trying to find the surprising things about oh my God that would kind of freak me out a little bit about it. And one of the things that came up, you've heard liar, liar, pants on fire? Liar, liar, pants on fire. I did not know. You know, there's a follow-up to that. There's an answer to liar, liar, pants on fire. And it goes, I don't care, buy me another pair. Is that cool? Oh my God, there's a follow-up to that. Now here's a serious oh my God for you. Charlie Chaplin once lost a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest. Oh my God. How? How does that happen? Sorry, dude, you just don't have it. Okay. So our spiritual leader, Dr. Ken Gordon, once was speaking somewhere, and he says, I have dedicated my life to telling the truth, so I'm going to tell the truth right now. I was once told, you're just not black enough. It's kind of like losing a Charlie Chaplin contest. How does that happen? Number 1 shoplifted book in the world. The Bible. The Bible. Probably because they put it in hotels and people take it out of the, yeah. Now this one hurt me personally. 2,500 people a year in the world die, left-handed people die from using right-handed tools. I was like, when I saw that, I was seriously, oh my God. And I don't know what it was with me when I was growing up, but I went to school with a lot of left-handed people. And here's a little bit about my age. When I was in school, they still had the desk that had the, you'd sit and it had the thing, right, And there were only like 2 of the left-handed desks in the classes, so I was always trying to get to class first. People thought I was a serious brown-noser, but it wasn't that I was a brown-noser. I just wanted to get to class early enough to get the left-handed desk. And I could figure it out because, when you're writing with your arm is falling off the right-handed desk, oh my God, it was a pain in the butt. So I could see, but 2,500 of us every year because of we share something in common with bonobos and dolphins, human beings. Do you have any idea what that is? We have sex for pleasure. So if things get rough for you, a dolphin or a bonobo might take you on and enjoy it. Beastie girl, that's for you. And my favorite one, I have to put up no, I'll just make it bigger. Yeah. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Hippopotomonstrous quipodellophobia. Hippopotomonstrous quipodellophobia. That's a long word. Hippopotomonstrous quipodellophobia. Do you know what that is? Fear of short words. Fear of long words. Fear of long words. It's fear of long words. It would you would think it should be fear of short words, but it's fear of long words. I can't, HIPPOPOTOMONSTROSEDLIOPHOBIA. I'd be freaked out too of long words if I had to say that word. That's like, how could they do that to people? That is so rude. Okay, so why is this? I'm on the wrong command, so all of a sudden I'm starting to write on my little script. This is my ode to my days back in weather. See, I make my talk as a map, because so I could probably, okay, so now we're going to section 1. There's an arrow pointing to section 1. People used to say to me when I do the weather, how do you remember all that stuff? How can you just talk off the top of your head like that? And I go, what? I'm reading the map, Dude, what are you talking about? It says 64. How freaking hard is that? People were amazed, you know? It's like, it's a cold front, it's got a little barb on it, tells you it's got a bump, that's red, that's warm. It's super simple. That's a cloud. The one that was really freaky is when I would go outside before the broadcast and people say, where are you going? Outside. Why? I'm the weatherman. I'm gonna go look at the weather, you know? But you'd be surprised how many just look at the satellite and they're just like, you gotta go outside. Anyway. So, kick my toe. Oh, it's pain. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, hey, grab somebody's attention. Oh, did you see that? Did you know that? You know, that's the O part. It's an expression sometimes of confusion. Oh, so that's where the O comes in. But also, it's O. It's a circle. It's the oneness. It's the O. Circle of this room. It's the circle of life. It's the circle that is that center that is within us, that circumference that is nowhere. So it really breaks down into a wonderful recognition of oneness when you say, oh. It's a spiritual practice to say that. In the Science of Mind textbook, Dr. Holmes says, in the homiletics class, they tell us that we're supposed to say, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, the first time that we say him in a talk, I like to say, Ernie said this. I love this T-shirt that they have. Oh, another one. My homiletics teacher, Catherine Economo, says, Stephen, you have a tendency to go on tangents when you do your talks. Your talks are really wonderful, but, you go on these tangents, and sometimes you get so lost in them, you don't know where you're going, and you might want to do something about that because it takes you off point. So I sat in meditation, and I contemplated this idea, and I decided to embrace it. So tangents are me. We'll take tangents along the way. The tangent I was leading to was why I say Ernie, because at the youth church, at the youth camp, I used to counsel the youth camp, the CSL youth camp, and they got this great T-shirt that says, Ernie is my Holmes boy. Right? So he is, I feel at one with Ernie. And having really felt at one with him, working at Founders for 15 years, there were many late nights that I would hear, what is that noise? And I'm convinced. Some of the times it was Ernest, sometimes it was Ernie, sometimes it was Dr. Hornaday, and sometimes it was them together, kind of walking around. You could feel the presence of these guys, walking with the giants. Anyway, he said on page 330 in the textbook, the whole of God is present at any and every point within God. The whole of God is present within any and every point within God. I love the way you start your service too. That the whole of God is present at every moment in the way the service starts, with the kids and the seed and the teaching and the I am remembering and singing you are the face of God to them as they walk off. I mean, who is not the face of God when you look into a child's face? That's beautiful. Congratulations on really having a spiritual practice from the moment you walk in the door. I didn't have to say a word and you've already had church. This is great, And, I get it. People are afraid of church and stuff like that. But I like church. I like to say church. I know we're a center now for spiritual living. But I actually liked religious science because, I'm happy that my liver is spiritual. But I kind of want my kidneys and my heart and everything else to be spiritual. So being a spiritual liver is kind of weird to me. I like being a religious scientist. We will practice religious science today at the Center for Spiritual Living in Ventura. See, tangents are us. Oh my God, let's go into my. I own it. It's mine. Ownership belonging to me. And it's a way to exclaim something too, to declare something. It kind of goes with, oh my. They come together. It's what Jesus was so famous to say. The Father and I are one. He's my papa. When you do your prayer, when you say, oh my God, you're saying the same thing. You're saying the Father and I are one. Oh my God, it belongs to me and I belong to it. And that sense of belonging, or to she, God's smarter than me and I don't understand God, ergo God is a she. There's part of my God right there. It belongs to me. In John 17:10. I love doing Bible stuff. I'm new to the Bible. I hadn't read the Bible much as I was growing up. My grandfather's a Baptist preacher, and I would go with him to different churches, and I loved to go with him because he was the kind of Baptist preacher where people were falling out in the aisles, and women in white robes were walking around with tissues and handing people, and he would speak in tongue and go, yeah, yeah, Lord, yeah. So I went for the show. And so when I got into this movement and went to Dr. Arthur, my first minister, or second minister, Dr. Mark Vieira was my first, and said, I kind of want to know more about the Bible. I've never really read it. What do you think? Next day he came to me with a children's Bible. If you haven't done Bible study, what a great way to start. Because one, it has pictures. And two, it breaks it down really nice. And so what I've come to understand is that there is a manual for living. There are numbers of manuals for living. There's the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, the Quran, and the Bible. Just some of them. And in John 17:10, which I like to look at now from time to time, it says, "And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in thee. I am glorified in thee. All thine are mine." We are one with this presence. And so when we say, oh my God, as you move forward and you see it and you hear it from people, it's not going to be a reminder. I'm silently I guess not subtly, not so silently because I'm talking, but subtly, I am hypnotizing you spiritually so that when you hear, oh my God, you will remember who you are. You will remember your source. You will remember, who's my source? God! That's so awesome. Oh my God. We celebrate in Science of Mind this individualization that we are. We spend a lot of time, individualized expressions of the divine. And when you think about where our roots were in New Thought at the time that the Science of Mind textbook was really taking off in the world, life was pretty rough. You go to the doctor and you might die from what the doctor did trying to heal you. And it just come out of the Depression, so prosperity was a great idea. So there was a lot of people trying to bring things into their lives, into their personal lives. There was a lot of selfish prayer. Okay? And we celebrated this idea of being the individualized expressions of the divine. And as I looked in one of my readings one day, I was reading a book called It's All God by Walter Starkey. And in it, he says, the root of the word individual, let me look this carefully, I want to say it right, individuus, Latin, or individualis, which means in, not divisible. In reality, individual is to say it's not divisible. It's a word of oneness, of unification. The root is indivisible, inseparable, one with, kind of like the aspens. You know the aspens? Aspen trees, you see a stand of aspen trees, you're looking at one tree with a bunch of roots that have grown up out of the ground. One of the largest stands of aspens happens to be just outside of Denver, but when you see one, you're seeing a whole bunch of seedlings that have come up out of the same basic tree. It's kind of like in this room where we're all sitting in our individual, you guys are sitting in your individual seat, but in a pew that is connected. They're all connected, Everywhere we look, these metaphors for our connectivity to the divine are showing up in our lives. Be an aspen or be a pew. And recognize that you are not just an individual. I think that's why Dr. Holmes was so present with the idea of individualized instead of individuals. Again, going back to John, that same chapter 17, it says, that they all may be one as thou, Father, art in me, and I'm thee, that they also may be one in us. My eyes are just not working that well today. That they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they may also be one in us. These messages are repeated over and over again, that we are one with the divine, that we are one with that thing that is, which takes us from oh my to God. Just sitting with that for a minute, just taking it to God, and breaking this down to the final word. What a big word. What a big idea. It comes in 3 little letters. God. Until you go to the Hindu idea of God. They have these things called cores, C-R-O-R-E, And a core, there are 33 of them in the Hindu faith, 33 of these cores. One core, though, represents 10 million gods. They got 330 million gods. There's a lot of God out there. And that makes a lot of sense. In my thinking, there's actually 7 billion plus gods on the planet. We're all individualized. Actually, there's even more than that, because as Bonnie was talking about, there's also all of the pets, and there's also all the inanimate objects that carry within presence. I mean, I was just talking about Dr. Holmes and Dr. Hornaday still in the building that is Founders, so that makes Founders a god. That makes this building a god, because of all the energy that we've left in it. If God is everywhere and everything that is present, there's so much God out there. No wonder we have to say, oh my God, because oh my God is everywhere. So think about God as you. There's power in knowing. There's power in knowing that God is you. That there is a personal relationship with that is within you. I mean, we've done it several times already in the service, but do it again. Turn within and just feel the presence. Feel the presence of the divine within you. And expand outward. Think of infinity up above you, as far as you can go, beyond and beyond and beyond. And down below you, beyond and beyond. And to the left and to the right. And in front of you and behind you. And as you think of infinity from that perspective, where does that leave you? At the center. At the center of something that is so vast. That is the experience of God. Meister Eckhart says, all creatures are doing their best to help God in his birth of himself. It is our experience of life that allows God to have the experience of life. That God is birthing through our livingness. What a great and awesome responsibility that puts upon us. But a lovely responsibility. You don't really have to do anything. You can just sit in place and still do it. If you're breathing, if you wake up in the morning and you can smell the flowers next to the bed, it's a good idea to get out of the bed because you probably are alive. And boom, right there, you have allowed God to have the experience of God. That's pretty cool. That everywhere we go, we get to be God in action, I mean, a lot of people will say, I'm not God. I'm a part of God. I'm not all of God. I'm just this. The Father and I are one. There's one life that is God's life. It's inseparable. You can't be a little part of something that you're all a part of. It's okay. It's fun to think of yourself as God, as the expression of God living in the world. There's power in that. Now, you don't want to be a despot and go over there and kill a whole bunch of people. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the joy and the freedom and the power and the creativity and the seed planting and the development of ideas that flows from knowing there is a power within you that is infinite, that allows you to do whatever you want to do, as Dr. Holmes says, as long as it's not hurting somebody else. That's wonderful. That's the great thing. Oh my God, that's the great thing to do. So this week, keeping these thoughts in mind, this week, we can go out. I invite you to go out and practice the namaste thing. The God in me sees the God in you. And notice. See God in everyone. And I like to think of notice. I spell it Know-TICE. Notice. Not just be aware, but know the things that you are being aware of. And recognize that how much God is showing up in all aspects of your life. Last night we did a Airbnb, and the guy that we stayed with walked Sulphur Mountain with Reverend Bonnie. We were like, oh my God. How trippy is that? Of all the places that could possibly go, and they have a couple of friends that go to the church here. They were really excited that we were coming here. So excited that he wouldn't stop talking to us. We're like, would like to go to sleep. And his wife came down and says, I told you not to keep talking to him all night long. It's like really, it was really sweet to see. She gave him that wife look like. As you walk around this week, there will be so many opportunities. I mean, gosh, you live here in Ventura, just walking outside, the air, the light, the reflection of the ocean against the sky. God is available to you to experience in every blink of the eye, every sniff of a wonderful flower, and the sounds of the horses, the waves, the trains at night, even the oil wells going up and down. There's prosperity, there's abundance, there's life all around us. So declare your union with all that is. And be an aspen this week. Oh my God, experience God. And so it is.
All right, so let's just turn within. Just take some nice deep breaths, just sitting in the energy of that beautiful message. Sitting in the energy of your own individualized, oh my Godness. And with me right here and right now, let us remember once again that there truly is only one perfect life, one life of complete wholeness that lives and moves and has its perfect being in everything, seen and unseen. In that which we can understand, in that which we cannot understand. In that which we know, and in that which is far beyond our imagination. There is this perfect life that we call God, Spirit, higher power, love. Whatever we call it, it is. And because it is in everything, it is in each of us right here and right now. Together we breathe into the awareness of the allness of God, the allness of love that is having its way and having its say within us this morning and every day. Together we know that the spiritual work that we have done here this morning, through the music, through the listening, through the words, through the fellowship, all of this blesses and enhances our lives so that we may be that light unto the world, to shine our light brightly and to have that light reflected back to us so that everywhere we look, everything we see, everything we are, everything we do, everything we don't do, brings forth that exclamation, oh my God. How good it is to know that we live in this sense of wholeness, that we surrender to it with complete trust and complete faith, that God is doing its perfect work through our individualized lives. I am so grateful for this beautiful teaching, so grateful for this spiritual center, so grateful for the transformation that I know has occurred through our spiritual play together this morning. I bless this spiritual center and every person in it, seen and unseen. I bless all paths to God, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams. I bless fundamentalists and atheists. I know that everyone is a blessing and everyone plays a role in this beautiful unfurling and unfolding of this mini-series called The Planet Earth. How beautiful it is to know that and to be grateful for all of it. And with a heart filled with gratitude for our part in this play, we breathe in deeply and then we exhale, gently releasing this word into the divine mystery, and together we say, and so it is.
To hide. So they have told us, some choose to believe it. I know the wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. And you, little dude, who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star. Somebody thought of that and someone believed it. And look what it's done. so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dream